We've still got 0% financing on every one of these at some term. We've got a huge cash rebate if you want to pay cash, and they're here now. They're not going to be here for long. Come to Murphy Brothers today and check out the new LS tractors.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather This Morning. I'm meteorologist Maggie McCauley. Thanks as always for tuning in and starting off your day, especially your Friday here with us at Mississippi Live Weather. Here's what you need to know before you hit the roadways this morning. We're still looking at some dense fog. It has gotten better over the past hour, so that's some good news, but still some patchy dense fog out there this morning. More rain is expected today. Some of us already seeing that this morning. More is going to be coming in the next few hours. And then we're going to be talking about a major cool down into next week. If you've been seeing the social media chatter on it, at least some of it is true. We are looking at some cooler conditions by your Thanksgiving holiday, but we have a lot to get through before then now, don't we? Take a look at this Mississippi Live radar this morning. Looping over the past 4 hours, we saw some rain yet again pushing through places like northwest Mississippi, stretching into places like Grenada, Water Valley, Tupelo as well. Just some light to moderate downpours ongoing into your overnight hours. Now let's look at where the rain is settled in this morning at 7:31 a.m. We're still tracking it in two main batches for our far northwest counties and then all of our southeast counties as well. So kind of on the opposite spectrums, right, of our area. Let me zoom in and show you exactly where we're looking at rain a little bit further off to the north. Still seeing it stretching on places like Marshall, Benton, and Tippah County, the very northern portions of all of those. So north of Holly Springs, north of Ashland. But if you're traveling along 72 this morning into these counties, you are going to be running in on a little rain. The majority of that rainfall, again, from that main batch, though, has moved off to the north, crossing over the Tennessee state line. So if you're crossing over the Tennessee state line this morning, you're going to be dealing with it. Now let's look at the main batch that we've been watching for. Actually seeing a little bit of lightning with this one strike, but one is something, right? So some moderate to heavy downpours right now happening. This has continued to slide off to the east. We're still seeing it, though, settling in places like Louisville, Macon, Columbus as well. Some heavy downpours if you're headed out of the state from Macon into places maybe like Aliceville or Carrollton this morning. Some heavy rain associated with that. Not going to be totally fun to drive through, right, as it makes its way out of the area, continuing to move off to the east. Let me show you a few cameras outside in those places that got some rain this morning. One of those is Columbus. You can see out of this MDOT traffic cam some wet roadways out there this morning. Still some light ongoing rainfall as well out there. So make sure to take it slow if you're headed out and about this morning, especially if you're in areas that already saw some rainfall. Temperatures in the 60s out there over in Columbus. Let me give you another look. A little bit of a more wetter look as well, with more ongoing rainfall happening over in Macon. I'm going to step out of the way so you can really see it. You can see those heavy raindrops coming down there within the city of Macon as well, and wet roadways. So make sure to, again, you know the deal, but take it slow. Pack a few more minutes to your travel time if you're going to be going through these areas, especially over in Macon. And then, as I said, across the state line into Alabama, because that's where we're seeing that heaviest of rain set up this morning. Temperatures in the low 60s over in Macon. As for everybody else, most of us in the low 60s this morning as well. 61 Eupora, 63 in Lafayette County, 62 in New Albany, middle to upper 60s from Greenwood, Cleveland, Clarksdale over in the Delta this morning. Over your first 12 hours ahead, you can expect temperatures to get near 70 by 11. Low to middle 70s will be the story this afternoon. Rain chances, you see them there, stick around all day long. Aren't necessarily great rain chances, though, all day long. I think we're going to be seeing these move through in a few batches as we head over your next coming hours. One of those main batches is going to be midday into early afternoon. And then the next one will come into play later on in the evening. Both of them, we could see a few stronger storms in the mix for. Take a look at what is the catalyst, what is driving these rain chances. Is this low pressure system that's sitting off into the plains right now. We watched a warm front lift through our area, continuing to drive moisture further south or further north from the south into the area as well, causing a few more showers all ahead of this main line that's going to be pushing in. So watch as I put this into motion as we head into the afternoon. Here's that first batch that's going to be pushing in. You can see some scattered activity into your early afternoon. So kiddos headed off to school, send them with some rain gear, bring some for yourself by those pickup times. A few of those, again, could be on the gustier side of things. And then we'll watch more come in as that front pushes in overnight into your early Saturday. So later on in the evening, you got plans, the more likely you're going to be seeing another round coming in. This should be out of our areas by the time most of us wake up on your Saturday morning. Going throughout your Saturday, can't rule out a few light showers, but for the most part, dry out there. Cloud cover will even dive to the south, and we're looking at a lot of sunshine coming back into play as we head throughout your Sunday. Got any Sunday plans looking good to go? Big cool down on the way. As I said, if you haven't been living under a rock over the past few days, you've seen the social media chatter. Some of it is true. We are going to be seeing a lot cooler temperatures move in as we head later on into next week. So I'm talking just in time for your Thanksgiving holiday. Got Thanksgiving, Black Friday plans, Egg Bowl plans. Make sure to incorporate a coat into your wardrobe, okay, for all of those plans, because it's going to be getting cooler and cooler. Coming up next, we'll talk about just how cold things are going to be getting into next week. And of course, we'll talk through more of an hour-by-hour look at those rain chances today. So stick with us. All those details are coming up right after this.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
At Room to Room, there's no need to wait. Black Friday deals are going on now.
Ready for the best sleep you've had in years? For a limited time only, get an heirloom king-size mattress for the price of a queen.
Room to Room Tupelo, where we know there's no place like your home.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggye McCauley.
Hey, and welcome back into the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Maggye McCauley. Thanks as always for keeping here with us at Mississippi Live Weather. We have a few showers and storms out there this morning. Want to show you where those are before we really get into your forecast. A few showers still hanging out across the Tennessee state line in places like Marshall, Benton, and Tippah County along 72 this morning if you're traveling along those roadways. And then also the main batch we're looking is actually in places like Noxubee County, then stretching across the state line into places just north of Aliceville this morning. So that's that other kind of cluster that we're watching, and this one actually producing one at least lightning strike out there this morning. So a little bit of a heavier pocket down to the south that stretches from Columbus all the way down into Macon, Mississippi this morning. So if you're traveling along those roadways, make sure to be careful out there. They are already wet, and then we're seeing continual rain out there. If you're not seeing the rain, you're looking at this. Lots of cloud cover. Love to see a little bit of break in the clouds, some blue skies out there over in Lafayette County. Still seeing some nice fall foliage on that camera. Enjoy it while you can. We'll see that fall foliage kind of start to trend downward from here on out. Take a look over in Oktibbeha County in Starkville, Mississippi, seeing some dreary conditions out there as well. Still seeing some fog concerns in the distance, but it is getting better, and temperatures in the low 60s there as well. Airport delays this morning. I have some very good news. If you know anybody or you yourself are heading out on the airways this morning or even into your coming weekend, because I'm not tracking any moderate or major delays region-wide. I'm not even tracking them across the nation. So take a look at this. We've been tracking out multiple delays over your past week, really week and a half. I'm not tracking any. I'm looking at a full green map right now of no moderate or major delays. So that's some good news just ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Sticking here in North Mississippi, temperature is going to be getting in the low or the middle 60s over your next hour, upper 60s by 10, into the 70s by 11, keeping about a 30% chance of rain out there all the way through your 11 o'clock hour before things do go a little bit more into your afternoon. Temperatures today mainly going to be topping off in the middle 70s as an average. We'll see some low 70s, see some upper 70s, but for the most part in the middle 70s out there across the board. Scattered storms will be the story, and we'll actually take that in a few batches. One of those could happen right at the end of your high school football game. So our high school game of the week presented by Casey Lott. If you're headed out to some of those good matchups that are happening this evening, temperature is going to be falling through the 60s, middle 60s by the time you're rounding out those games. And you can see rain chances just increase between pregame, halftime, and on. So the later those games go on, the more likely you are to run into some rain. And a few of those showers that do push in could also be on the stronger side of things. Take a look at your severe weather risk. This was issued by the Storm Prediction Center overnight. I'm actually going to zoom out and show you the full view of it. So this is where it's stretching from places like central Tennessee, a good portion of Tennessee encompassed in this, all of northeast Mississippi, all the way down to Birmingham, and also into south Mississippi as well, including places closer to Jackson and Hattiesburg included with this as well. So we're watching this big area that includes a lot of our area. I mean, all of northeast Mississippi, for the most part, included in this. So what does it mean? Level 1 out of 5. It's lowest of the 5 threat levels, so that's some good news. But what it means for us is we could see a few storms that do try to reach severe limits going into this afternoon and then going later on into the evening as well. That's those two main batches I was talking about. Main threats I think we're going to be watching for is the potential for some very heavy rain as it moves through, and also the potential for some gusty winds. Now, I will say there's a very low-end tornado threat with that front that comes in. They do have it on here. So I know a few people put it in the chat, asked about it this morning. It's on a very low scale in, and I think the main thing we're going to be watching for with any of these that come through is just going to be some gusty winds. So let's take a look at those two batches that come in. One of those is noon and on. You can see those move up from the south and really in the heart of our area as we head into that midday hour. So got any lunchtime plans? Make sure you have the rain gear ready. We'll see this activity just continue even into your early afternoon as well. So shifting into about 3-4 o'clock, still seeing scattered activity across the board. This is all ahead of that main line that's going to be coming in. Here's the good news that I do have for you. When does that lull happen between those two batches? Just in time for those Friday night football games. Now, you can still see some rain on here at 6 or 7 o'clock from Lafayette County all the way into Tishomingo County. But the good news is it's not near as prevalent. The activity is not near as widespread as we are going to be seeing it this afternoon. So I think actually a lot of football games are going to be good to go this evening. But the later on that they go and the further west that you live, the more you're likely to see some rainfall at least halftime and on for these games, especially if you live in the Delta into northwest Mississippi. We're going to watch this line move through at 9, really cross over the river as we head 8-9 o'clock into northwest Mississippi around 10 o'clock, and then continuing into northeast Mississippi as we head midnight and on. Again, a few of these could be on the stronger side of things, so we're going to be keeping our eye on it. Make sure to keep your alerts on overnight. We will let you know and be live if need be. Going into your Saturday morning, those are going to be sweeping out of the area. And by the time most of us are waking up, we're not dealing with much of anything on your Saturday. Going throughout the day, I can't rule out maybe a light shower or two into your afternoon as these clouds do pass in. But for the most part, good to go for Saturday. And I think cloud cover even kind of rolls out as we head overnight. Let's talk about your SEC football forecast. If you do plan on getting out and about for your Saturday, maybe you're headed off to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as they're going to be taking on Eastern Illinois at 1 p.m. on your Saturday. Temperature is going to be in the upper 70s throughout a lot of that game, eventually falling into the low 70s as that sun does set for the final snap of that game. Now, I don't have an Ole Miss or Mississippi State forecast for you because they do not play this week. They don't play until they play each other for the Egg Bowl into this upcoming Friday. So a week from today, And you're going to need the coat for that game. We'll talk about that forecast in just a minute. For your weekend ahead, sticking here in North Mississippi, temperatures in the low 70s on your Saturday, upper 60s by Sunday. Very small rain chance for Saturday. We clear that out for Sunday. Here's those cooler conditions diving in. I told you that it's going to be on the way, and they are, as we head later on into November, into early December. Below average conditions come back for North Mississippi. You can see it on the end of your 7-day, but we have 7 days until we get to that. So we got other weather to deal with before we get to the cooler conditions. 70s for the most part all the way through your Tuesday. Yeah, upper 60s on Sunday. Dealing with the rain today, we're going to deal with another batch of widespread rain later on Monday into mainly the overnight hours and then into early Tuesday. So if you're planning on getting on the roadway Monday and Tuesday, I just encourage you to keep checking up with the forecast so you know how to plan to avoid that rainfall. Right now, looking like a mainly overnight event. After it pushes through, we're looking at cooler air diving south into North Mississippi. 60s on Wednesday, 50s on Thursday, 50s on Friday as well for that Egg Bowl forecast. Got any plans for that? I encourage you to have the coat ready because it is going to be a cold Egg Bowl out there. So that's a look overall at your 7-day forecast. We love to do school talks and come and get to talk to your classrooms. Meteorologist Gabe Maynard got to do that this week. So I want to show you a little bit of a video of him getting to go and educate some students here.
That causes damage or effects to us here on the ground. Whenever we're talking about types of severe weather, how many people can list down a few types?
Tornado, hurricane,
good.
tsunami.
Hail, good. I heard tsunami. Was my inspiration going behind this, and I love just being a part of the community and getting to come see you guys and do events like this or school visits. I love getting to do that and meet everyone out in North Mississippi. All right, so what is severe weather? What can you guys tell me about it?
It's
Raise your
dangerous.
hand. What you got?
It's dangerous.
Dangerous, good. Luckily, we stayed good, but still there were a ton of questions, a lot of darkness.
So very cool. Gabe got to go over and again talk to some middle schoolers about weather, what severe weather is, and maybe inspire a few to become meteorologists in the future. Love getting to go out to the schools and just be involved in the community. I know Gabe does too, so awesome to get to see him do that over in Booneville. Now, he'll be back at 5, 6, and 10 as well if you want to see him again, and our chief meteorologist, Matt Lawpon. They'll be live from our game of the week, which is West Point versus Pontotoc. If you want to see all those details of who won band and cheer squads of the week, and also all of the highlights coming up at 10. They'll have all those details. And of course, they're going to be tracking out all of that weather, the showers and storms that are pushing in. They'll have the latest coming up again at 5, 6, and 10. I'll see you back here on your Monday morning at 6:30.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?